Hi guys, it's me, here to read another part of Define Normal by Julianne Peters. So here we go. Chapter 23. I offered to help Tilly do the laundry Saturday morning, but she told me it was under control. In fact, as I searched around for something to do, I realized everything was under control. It was weird, having so much time on my hands. I actually felt bored. Karen dropped by later that afternoon to give us a progress report on Mom. She has good days and bad days, she told us. We were all gathered around the picnic table out back. Louise played catch with Chucky while Michael squirmed at my side, itching to go play with them. As soon as there are a whole lot more good days than bad, she'll be coming home. Karen smiled at Michael. His eyes darted back to Louise and Chucky. In a lowered voice, Karen said to Tilly and me, "The doctors are still working on finding the right antidepressant for her. She's experiencing some severe side effects, and..." I tuned out. The sight of Louise lobbing the ball to Chucky made me smile. He was so patient with him. Not the way Dad had been with Michael. He used to yell at him if he even dropped the ball. Said he threw like a girl. Suddenly I noticed his silence. Karen was staring at me. "She'd love for you to call," she said. "Can I go now?" Michael asked. "I finished my Kool-Aid." Tilly said, "Go ahead." Karen said, "Antonia?" "I will." I pretended exasperation. "I'm just really busy right now, okay?" She studied my face. "Stand to leave," she said. "Whenever you're ready." At our session on Monday, which had now become a regularly scheduled meeting time for us, Jazz looked lifeless. She lay slumped over the table, her hair a mess of tangles, even more than usual. Something else caught my eye. "What's that on your scalp?" I leaned over, squinting for a better look. She straightened slowly. "It's head art. Ram drew it on impermanent marker." "Like it?" She slumped again. It was a profile of a bald eagle. Fitting, I thought. "Yeah, it's cool," I said. "I bet your parents cronked." "They didn't care," she mumbled. Not only did she look like death, she acted like it. "You're still holding out, aren't you?" Her shoulders shrugged. "Jazz," I touched her arm. I think they've suffered enough, don't you?" She raised her head slowly, as if it were weighed down by lead, and sat up in her seat. Her mascara was smeared. It was obvious she'd been crying. "Are you okay?" I said. "Yeah," she replied. "It's just..." She shook her head. "My mom and I had a big fight." She rolled her eyes. "So what else is new?" She said, "If I'm not going to play the piano, they're going to sell the piano. My piano." Her voice rose. "They have no right." Tears welled in her eyes. "Jazz, can't you just..." Her glare cut me short. "Can't you play when they're not home?" "That's the problem." She swiped her nose with the back of her hand. "They're always home. At least she is." "Can she get a job or something? Check into a psych ward?" Jazz blanched. "Oh, God." She clapped a hand on her mouth. "I'm sorry, Antonia." "That's okay," I smiled. At least Jazz was back to joking around. "Have you seen your mom again?" she asked suddenly. "No." I shook my head. "I can't. I..." Couldn't even say it. "Can't handle it?" Jazz offered. I looked at her. I know I couldn't. All that stuff you told me about the hospital. It's giving me bad dreams. "Me too," I said. "If it were me," she went on, "I'd be scared shitless to go back there." "I am. Not just the place. What if she's worse? What if she never gets better? What if we have to live in foster homes the rest of our lives?" "You won't." Jazz reached out and touched me. "I promise. Everything will work out fine." "Where have I heard that before?" I muttered. "My mother?" We both snorted. For some reason, I felt 100% better. "I wish I could help you with your mother." "Could you dig up some evidence that I was switched at birth?" she said. I laughed. She sighed. "You wouldn't happen to have a piano on you?" "Let me check." I searched my backpack. "Sorry, no. There isn't anything you can do. There isn't anything anyone can do." "Maybe I could talk to your mom." "No!" Jazz barked. "God, no. This is between me and her. It's my life. I have to be able to do what I want." "But you're not," I said. She just looked at me and slumped over again. That night, as I lay in my bed, I couldn't get Jazz out of my mind. The rift between her and her mother had only grown since I'd been counseling her. That's what I was supposed to do to help Jazz with. I was a complete and utter failure. But that didn't bother me as much as how unhappy Jazz was. She'd given up the one thing she loved most in the world, her music. Expression meant everything to Jazz. All you had to do was look at her and know that was true. And jazz music was the way she expressed the person she was inside, a passionate, strong, joyful person. Whenever I was with her, she made me feel that way, which I suddenly realized was why I liked being around her. Jazz was also the most stubborn person I've ever met, or proudest. She'd never give in to her mother now. She couldn't. Lying on Yolanda's bed, staring at the greased-up guy on the poster, I wished there was some way I could get Jazz playing again, some way to bring her music back to her. You wouldn't happen to have a piano on you, Jazz's plea repeated in my mind. I shot bolt upright in bed. That was it! Chapter 24. Mrs. Thornburg said we could use the piano in here during fifth period, I told Jazz. There aren't any orchestra or play rehearsals right now. Pulling open the double doors to the school auditorium, I kicked down the doorstop and shoved Jazz in. She shrank back far against the far wall. I told you I gave up the piano. Yeah, I know what you told me. I held up 2 fingers right in front of her face. Come on. I led her down the aisle to the stage. On the side wall was a panel of light switches, and I flicked them all on. In a blinding flash, the stage illuminated. The whole auditorium lit up. An old upright piano stood silhouetted against the black backdrop. Jazz wandered over to it. You think I'm going to play this crappy thing? She folded her arms in disgust. I asked Mrs. Thornburg to order a baby grand for you. It's on the truck. Jazz sneered. Give me a hand, I said. Let's move it out. I positioned myself behind the monster and pushed it. It didn't budge. Help me, I ordered her. She snapped to attention. Geez, have a hemorrhage. Heaving and grunting, we rolled the beast to the center stage. I went back for the piano bench, shoving it under her rear. Okay, I said. Okay, play. I told you. I clapped my hands over my ears. I can't hear you. She met my eyes and held them. I lowered my hands and said, You said you had the Polonaise down perfect. I don't believe you. What? Her eyes narrowed. Prove it, I said. She frowned at me. She turned and eyed the keyboard. Lightly, she ran her fingers over the keys. A shaky breath escaped her lips. Go ahead, I said softly over her shoulder. She stretched her fingers. Without warning, her hands attached to the keyboard. An explosion of sound erupted from the piano. The music reverberated in the empty auditorium, echoing off the walls, the ceilings, the seats. Slowly I backed away, down the stairs and off the stage. I slid into a seat in the front row. Jazz was transformed as she rocked and swayed to the rhythm of her music. Her eyes closed and stayed closed as her fingers pounced up and down the keyboard. Suddenly the music stopped. Shit, Jazz muttered. I did it again. With a determined look on her face, she hit the keys. She played the same passage, then stopped. Her hands fell to her lap, and her head lolled backward. You're out of practice, I called up to her. It'll come back. It's not that, she said in a small voice. Her head fell forward. She squeezed her eyes shut, as if holding back tears. I never want to play that Polonaise again. I understood. Even though it was beautiful music, it was painful for her, associated with bad memories, sort of like the smell of bacon for me. And play the piece you were listening to before, the minuet. Jess turned slowly and smiled at me. The Bach? She raised her fingers over the keys. All at once her hands were dancing, filling the void with music. It was so joyful, so uplifting. A lump lodged in my throat. What I wouldn't give to have a talent like that, even a passion for something, anything, like the way I used to feel about gymnastics, math. Maybe I had a hidden talent somewhere, down deep, something I hadn't discovered yet, or let discover me. The music ended and Jazz sagged forward on the bench. I jumped to my feet, clapping. Behind me, applause echoed down the aisle. Jazz and I both whipped around. Standing in the double doorway were a few people from the front office. Behind them, clapping and whistling, were 2 of Jazz's punky pals. Jazz screeched back the bench and shot out of there. Jazz, wait! I cried, but she was gone. I didn't see Jazz the next day, and she never showed at a regular Friday peer counseling session. I sat there for 25 minutes, then got mad and left. So she hated me for exposing her to her friends. I could understand that, even though it wasn't my fault. Is that what she thought? That I'd arranged for those guys to be there? That I'd tricked her into performing? It bothered me all afternoon that Jazz might think I'd set her up. I couldn't even finish my lasagna at dinner. You all right, Antonia? Louise asked. Last time Tilly made lasagna, you ate like a horse. I guess I'm just not hungry. It's delicious, though. I didn't want to hurt Tilly's feelings. Maybe you could save it for me? May I please be excused? Tilly said, Sure, I'll put your dinner in the fridge, in case you want a midnight snack. She smiled. Forced to smile back. At the door, I twisted around. Would it be alright if I used your phone again? It won't take long. Tilly flapped a hand at me. Gab, as long as you... I raced to the den and dialed Jazz's number. It rang once, twice. Hello? A man answered. It startled me. Hello, Mr. Luther? Is Jazz there? Who's this? It's Antonia Dillon, my voice cracked. Oh, Antonia, hello, he said, a little less ominously. It cleared my throat. I know Jazz is grounded, but I really need to talk to her. It'll just take a minute. He hesitated. Don't tell Margie, okay? She'll exile me to the guest room for a month. I let out a short laugh. I won't, I promise. A few minutes later, I heard a click and the faint sound of breathing. Are you there, Jazz? Mr. Luther asked. No, it's your guilty conscience speaking. He sighed. I'm hanging up. Another click sounded. So? Jazz said flatly. Listen to me, I said quickly. I didn't plan for those guys to be there in the auditorium. They must have seen the crowd and heard you playing and come to listen. She didn't respond. In the background, heavy metal music blasted away. Just a minute, Jazz said. The volume lowered and she came back. God, that piano is so out of tune. I sounded awful. Awful? You were awesome. Yeah, right, she muttered. Did you hear them clapping? They loved it. They thought you were fantastic. They were whistling. They thought I was a geek, she said. They know better, don't they? She snorted. In a smaller voice, she said, I feel so guilty, like a criminal. They keep asking me why I'm in such a bad mood, and I can't tell them. They know I'm hiding something. They think I don't trust them. I don't see why you can't tell them. What kinds of friends are they if they can't accept the real you? I guess she didn't have an answer for that. After a long silence, she said, The piano hasn't been tuned since it was made. Middle C sucks. The pedals don't work. Good thing Bach's dead. If he heard me play his minuet in G like that, he'd have killed himself. So that was it. Besides her secret being revealed, she was afraid her performance had been less than perfect. I understood. It was the same way I felt about homework assignments. They had been perfect. They had to be perfect. Not that I felt a passion for homework. That'd be stupid. I wouldn't worry too much about the piano, I told her. They're all watching you, believe me. You were sensational. They weren't supposed to be watching me, she snarled. They were supposed to be experiencing the music. They were. At least I was. Everyone else might have been surprised to see who was playing it. No offense. She didn't say anything. Jazz, I know what you meant, she broke in. After a slight hesitation, she said softly, we do it again Monday, after we talk? That was the plan, I said. Uh-oh, I just heard my mom on the stairs. I better go. Antonia? Yeah? Thank you, she said, and hung up. Alright, guys, that's it for me today, but leave a like, comment, subscribe if you liked it, all that stuff. Let me know what you thought. So, thanks for watching, guys. Bye!